guys, it's Cam from EasyA. This video is going to be on factorising quadratics. So let's get started.
So to start off, a quadratic expression is an expression where the highest power of x is x squared. These are extremely useful. For example, the path of a ball flying through the air can be predicted by a quadratic. In an expression, the numbers before the variables are known as coefficients. So we have a quadratic x squared plus bx plus c. How do we factorise this into two brackets? Well, we've got to find two numbers that add to b and multiply to get c. Here's an example where b is 5 and c is 6. We need two numbers that will add to get 5 and multiply to get 6. In this case, it's 2 and 3. Then we can write them in brackets like this to fully factorise the quadratic expression. Let's check our answer by expanding out the brackets. This shows that our factorisation is correct. Let's now do this with a quadratic involving negative numbers. A negative coefficient for c is going to result in one bracket having a negative number and one having a positive number, as a negative multiplied by a positive is also a negative. If c is positive, it must be either two positives or two negatives in the brackets. When the coefficient of x is 0 and c is negative, we can often use difference of two squares to factorise the expression. Take the square root of the positive value of c and put it in the brackets like this, with one negative and one positive. This works because the terms in x cancel out when you multiply it out. Now onto a higher level topic. Sometimes when you're factorising, the coefficient of x squared is not going to be equal to 1. Sometimes there will be a common factor which you can take out and then proceed normally with the factorisation, but other times you can't, so we have to use a different method. There are lots of ways of doing this, but one method that is good is the AC grid method. Draw out a grid and put the x squared and constant term in like this. Multiply them together and find factors of the number. As before, we need to find two numbers which add up to get 9 and multiply to get minus 5. One of the factor pairs will always work. In this case, it's 10 and minus 1. Write them in the grid like this. It doesn't matter which way around. Then we need to find the common factor of 2x squared and 10x and write it above. Find out what multiplies through with this to get 2x squared and write it on the left. And then you can fill in the grid like a multiplication grid to get the factors. The factors are just the top and left of the grid. Another higher level topic is completing the square. This is useful when we can't fully factorise the quadratic. To do this, factor out the first two terms so the coefficient of x squared is 1. Then take half the coefficient of x and put it in the bracket like this before subtracting the square of it. In this case, x squared minus 6x becomes x minus 3 in brackets squared minus 3 squared. Then simplify the expression and you've successfully completed the square.
Thank you for watching this EasyA Maths recap video. Check out our YouTube channel for more maths recaps or get the EasyA app on the Apple and Android app stores to get unlimited on-demand maths tutoring right from your smartphone.